everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner, and I have two returning guests in the corner, and they're on this awesome show that has to do just with food. So by the end of this interview, I expect you to gain 20 pounds. Just as a warning. Would you guys like to unveil your secret identity to the masses?
You first, bro.
Hi, this is Josh Grelle. I'm the voice of Komatsu in Toei's Toriko.
And I'm Ian Sinclair, and I play Toriko in Toriko.
Woo!
Yes!
Yay, food.
Toriko.
Toriko.
And intros.
Yeah, we're like, we just got our copies and everything like that, so we're very, very happy.
Heck yeah.
Oh, so you'll be watching it all night.
Yeah, well, we watched some advanced screeners, biting our nails, like, oh goodness, we get to see what we, started a year ago.
Uh-huh.
And we all sat around with food and drinks and had a great time, and we're really proud, and it's a really fun show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, I know you guys got to unveil some of the show at Youmacon this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Or last year. It's not this year, last year.
Oh my God. November, Youmacon. It was a lot of fun. The panel went really well, actually. Had a lot. In fact, Funimation just put up a 3-minute clip from that panel on YouTube, so you can check that out.
And I believe if you have your Elite Funimation subscription, you can check out the entire panel, because I found that up on Funimation's website, so I was watching that because I was nailed to the booth like all weekend, so I couldn't go to any panels.
That was a fun one. I think we went off the rails and just started talking food, which
we really did.
Kind of what we end up doing.
It is. That's also the clip. The clip is just us.
It's just going off about food?
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty awesome.
Nice. I haven't watched it yet. I can't watch myself, so yeah.
Well, on the plus side too,
He explodes. It's a temporal thing.
Well, on the plus side though, you guys have to have fast metabolisms. That way you don't get uber fat at the end of all of it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have to go and run and jump and do stupid working out because my metabolism sucks. Yeah. And when we started doing Toriko, I noticed that I was like putting on weight, and I was like, crap, because I knew that wasn't gonna stop. I wasn't gonna stop eating the way that I was eating, so I just had to go crazy. So no, I did. You remember that we were doing like multiple steaks at a time, just steak.
That sounds so glorious.
Well, we live in Texas, so there's steak
is available.
It's cheap. It's like Nolan Ryan has some great steaks, and because
hell, I mean, the night that we found out that we were playing our characters, we went out and got those 2.5-inch bone-in ribeyes.
Big old ribeyes.
Ate them with our hands.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
The way God intended.
Well, now I have to wonder, how do you like your steaks?
Ooh, Josh, you first.
As rare as possible while still being warm.
I go medium rare. All I need on mine is a little salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with Josh on this one. I absolutely
you're
love.
Rare, huh?
Yes, I love bleeding snakes. Not snakes, steaks. I've never had steak before. One day, because I call myself a meatitarian because I don't really nom on the vegetables and the fruit. So I absolutely love any sort of meat.
Have you had snake yet, Josh?
I have not, but you should have horse sometime.
I've had horse. I've actually.
That's right, you did.
I've had horse and I've had snake. I had a snake sausages. You'd be surprised how many people go, meh, I'm going to put snake in that sausage. I think when we went to that place in Chicago, there's a place in Chicago. Every time I go, it's called Hot Dogs. It is the greatest hot dog sausage place in the history of ever. And I go there, and I think I had a rattlesnake. And besides, like, I think I've had, like, rattlesnake at, like, some Texas State Fair or something like that.
That just happens.
It just happens. They're like, meh, snake. Okay.
Snake crawls in during the cooking. And
they just said, yeah, why not?
That's part of the tradition.
You get boots out of it and everything.
Yeah.
I am so sad that I have this open thing of red vines right next to me that I can't eat during the interview.
Go for it. I think that you are fully, and anytime anybody talks about Toriko, if their mouth is half full, then it's a good conversation.
Seriously.
It's
almost good etiquette at this point.
Yes, I would be insulted if you didn't.
Okay, well, I'll do that while you guys explain a little bit about your characters to the listeners who might not have seen any of Toriko.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Namesake.
Right. Toriko is a gourmet hunter. He travels this wonderful world that is I don't know. Someone was talking to me about this, and I tried to explain the world that they live in. It's the gourmet age. Like every food is the most important thing. It's what's cool. It's what's fashionable. It's what's everything. Everything is food related, and he's kind of almost like a treasure hunter. If that treasure hunt, I mean, if the treasure is food, like he goes and he's like, oh, I found out about this very rare thing that that I heard about that's supposed to be delicious. I'm gonna go eat it, and then he finds it and he eats it, and it's glorious. He's very zen. He's awesome. He's big. He's classic shonen hero. He's manly. He's beefy. He's awesome. And I was a big Toriko fan long before I got to be Toriko, because I saw it and the foodie inside me squeed, and I said I have to do this, and I love it. And yeah, Toriko's my soul brother.
He really kind of is, especially if you know Ian.
I like food. I like it.
It's pretty awesome to witness, actually.
I get an excuse to like eat like a crazy person now. If I like go to a con or something like that, I'm like, I want to go to a coney dog place and eat a bunch of coney dogs. They're like, that's awesome, Toriko. And I'm like, ah!
Oh, that's so cool.
Thing, Toriko.
Tell us about Komatsu.
I do have to say one thing before I do.
Please.
I saw something really cool on Facebook today, Toriko related. It was Toriko, and the caption just said, Goku and Luffy love to chow down, but no one eats as much as Toriko. Buy the DVD today. And I was like, that's badass.
Take that, Luffy and Goku.
Very nice.
Stretch your arms and your Kamehamehas and spirit bombs. I hit things really hard.
Well, I'm pretty sure Toriko is more beefy and buffer than a DBZ character.
Oh yeah, no, he's like Android 16 size maybe?
Probably.
Yeah, he's a big old dude. But I mean, I don't know, like you just about started a conversation that I've had a couple times. That is the what would happen if Goku and Toriko like they fought her? Yeah, what if they both wanted the same steak? And I'm like, oh man. Oh, because I grew up with Goku, man. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then now he's got the flying. Oh, I don't want to give spoilers for the later scene.
Yeah.
Tell me about Komatsu.
Yes.
Komatsu is a go-getter. Komatsu is a chef who it's his lifelong dream to be one of the world's greatest chefs. In fact, he wants to be an elite chef is the term that he uses. He's a little on the small side. I get the best way if we're going to do DBZ comparisons again. He is Chef Krillin with a nose.
And hair.
And hair. He has to have the hair. And he doesn't have, monk dots. But he is in love with his art, his martial art, which is he's a kitchen ninja.
Yeah.
And he meets Toriko because he works for one of the hotels in the IGO, that's the International Gourmet Organization, which kind of think the UN in the gourmet age.
And they used to be before the Great War. Mm-hmm. They were part of the UN.
That's right.
They mentioned that in the
arena.
Yeah,
that's right. The arena episodes with Manson.
Manson, you just called me Manson. Did you call me Manson? Sorry, like
it's fine. I'm so cool with you guys going off the handle.
Dude, that character cracked me up. I couldn't record my lines because of Manson because he had already recorded.
He's brilliant.
He's hilarious. Oh, it's the main event! Just so
frying pan.
Drunkenly happy. It's wonderful.
Manson is a character that works for the IGO, and he's
second in command, really. I believe is the term. He's like.
He's the right hand of the president. He's high up, and he runs the Gourmet Coliseum, and he's very big, and he's like there are a couple of voices in Toriko that I could not help leaving the booth being like, hey, you have to do this voice all day long.
You guys should start a series together where you go online and you play voice games and you do those voices.
Well,
you'd be rich.
What happens? We do interviews together. It just devolves into me and Josh being like,
That sounds like any of my staff meetings, so it's okay. I get it. Absolutely get it. Oh gosh. Well, one thing about about the series because I haven't seen a completed episode because I'm hoping that they'll put the dub on Funimation's Elite service. But I've
Uh,
seen the one clip where you guys are like losing your Cheetos because you're going ballistic over this like rainbow jello.
yeah.
Yes, seriously, that is some of my absolute favorite Foley that you ever did. I crack up every time I watch that session, dude. Like you talking about the flavors when you eat it is so.
It's interesting. Josh and I, we really do love those scenes. Those scenes are funny enough. It's as difficult to. Well, everybody's been just calling it foodgasm, so screw it. I'll call it foodgasm too.
It is a foodgasm.
So it's as difficult to foodgasm as it is to like freak out in a fight or like scream or something like that. It is just as draining, but it is as rewarding. Like I think I remember really clicking with, and you hear Toriko change from a someone who is very reserved on Komatsu because he's just this kid who just he wants to follow along and he's whining and he's screaming the whole time. And all of a sudden he goes, "Hey, wait, why don't we take this steak and put it on a rock and grill it?" And it's like, "Oh, you're my new best friend."
Pretty much. That's the beautiful thing. Like there really is that growth between the two, and it happens very quickly. But I could say maybe by episode 5, he really like 4 or 5, like after the whole puffer whale arc is when he really starts to have that respect for him.
Yeah, we wanted to do that because there was that line that was, this is the first time I'm actually glad you came along.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was.
And you can see that. You see it in the animation, and it's really cool to see their development. And I mean, Josh and I have been friends for years now, roommates and stuff like that. And so we had the friends thing down, and like we know how to rip off each other. But it was interesting, like the starting out and being like distant, and like whoa, and then all of a sudden,
Komatsu's just kind of Komatsu in a way. And for the first 3 episodes, is just kind of like a fanboy that's living the dream.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to travel around with one of the greatest heroes of his age. Learning to cook, getting to experience ingredients firsthand that he would not get the chance to experience in such a way otherwise. And he's going to do it with this guy that he looks up to almost like a star. And he becomes. That changes from them being just these 2 guys that were thrown into the mix together by random to being almost brothers.
Yeah.
As it progresses, and it's awesome.
Oh, it's so hard not to give spoilers right now.
I know.
Because we have, I mean...
we watched it, like, you watched the majority of the show before we even started recording, and I saw, I think, half of it before we started recording. Most of that was watching it with you just... after we got out and cooked some steak or something.
Yeah, and then we saw the spoilers.
Yeah. We saw episode such and such
where we did that thing and we were like, ah. Yeah, it's we're fanboys of this show. We really are. It's hard not to though. It's that beautiful action thing that I started out on Shonen. I started out with the One Pieces, the Dragon Ball. I mean, I remember really going Dragon Ball. That's so awesome because it was my gateway between comic books into anime, and so when I saw this thing that was like, oh, orange jumpsuit fighting Toye kind of animation. Oh, there's food. Oh, there's food. Oh!
Just this revelation.
Amazing. I love it. It's we've been reading.
You can't. Watching it is like watching DBZ again as a kid.
Yeah,
because
they're very different.
It's very it's modern.
Mm-hmm.
It has that kind of classic feel to it, but it is modern also in its own way, and it portrays itself in its own style. Whereas, I don't know where it's going with that, but
no, when someone put it, told me it's a tasty love song that classic shonen like.
That's a great way to put it. It's also one of the only shows like Dragon Ball where I allow myself to watch it and really just kind of, especially with Toriko, I pig out on something. There's 2 things that I allow myself to pig out on. That's chicken wings
Just because it's a little animal.
Yeah, because little animal, there's a lot of protein, and it's just I get to just gnaw on it.
Pull off a bone. Yeah.
Seriously, nothing feels quite as primal as gnawing on chicken.
You're absolutely right.
Our hot wings.
Yeah.
Ooh. See, I would say just a whole chicken. I love
just grab a whole chicken, just at it all night. I love that too. The other thing is, and this is where I just let myself hunker down and giggle like a little freaking kid, is a gigantic bowl of futsal berries.
I do a punch bowl of salad if I'm trying to be good. If I have to binge on Toriko, I'm like, I know I'm gonna eat, so at least it's roughage. You know? So yeah, I think you asked a question a while ago. Sorry about that. Hi.
It's okay. While you guys have been going, I've been imagining the story of like an anime fan who's now like a businessman. He's like 30, 40 years old, and he watches the show, has a nostalgia trip, gains like 100 pounds, but he cries at the pure loveliness of the bromance.
Yeah. That's pretty much what we experienced.
He was nostalgic trip.
It was. Oh gosh. Went back through it. And I when I was trying to, because I'm not a big guy. I'm not like an alpha guy. I'm not some guy who's fought like in my childhood a lot or not, successfully. And so, I had to learn how to be beefy and, like know how to fight talk, like blah, blah, blah. So I went back and I watched Kai and I watched Dragon Ball and stuff like that. And well, a little bit of old X-Men, a little bit of Wolverine. Yeah, everyone just when you get into that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so I had to,
this one's from Morph.
Oh, I love Morph. Morph was my man. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah. So what else?
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to laugh, and it's really hard because now that I've seen you guys in person, because the first time we got to meet was at Youmacon, all I can imagine is you guys flailing around and fanboyism while you're explaining half of it.
We are flailing.
Okay.
Yes.
We've almost taken each other out at least 3 times.
You guys are fighting for the mic. It's a tournament. Anyway. But no, one of the things that's was kind of interesting that I picked up on the panel over on Funimation's Elite service is that you guys at some points seemed like you got to eat food during some of the recordings. Like you tried it and then it was too much of a mess and you couldn't anymore. I'm surprised you guys didn't like petition for that.
Well, it's yeah. Well,
no, I'm trying to think
of weird subject. When I started Funimation, one of the first big roles I got was in Bamboo Blade, and in that I had to, he ate a lot and talked a lot with his mouth full, and I ate tater tots. I would go and get breakfast, and I'd bring extra tater tots because they were just enough crunchy and just enough soft. So like, oh, mouth on. And it's awesome, but your pop screen gets full of little potato chunks. Yep. And
that's just a present for the person coming in.
I smell like a friggin' fryer. And it's that, and then it's, to be honest, if I eat before I voice act, my blood is going to be going to my stomach and processing, and I'm one of those weird superstitious people that like I feel I have to have everything running at maximum capacity. So if I feel like my body is doing anything but thinking and reading and acting, then I'm doing myself a disservice. So I was kind of glad when we all went, that's probably a better idea for just pretend.
Oh, okay. Because if I can go to a job and yell into a microphone and then get fed as well, that sounds like a plus.
It sounds awesome until you go, rah! Well, like, yeah, I got pieces down the throat a couple times.
I chipped on an apple.
No. But apples good though for you.
Apples are like green apples.
Green apples because it'll help you with your saliva.
Yeah.
Greasy.
Only thing I've ever done in the booth is the green apples. Sometimes I'll bring some almonds in with me, because the almonds I can wash them down pretty easily with tea or water. And there's something in the Funimation vending machine that I get constantly that's delish and awesome. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's a nice little treat. And it's wonderful for recording Toriko.
Well, I can relate to not wanting to have anything because when I do my radio show, things that I avoid are like milk and soda because
Uh-huh.
the
Uh-huh.
ice clinks together, and I feel like I have so much saliva if I'm thinking about food or if I'm eating food. So I feel like I'm spitting on my microphone, which I don't want to do to my nice microphone.
I bet your engineer really appreciates it.
Luckily, I don't have an engineer. I am talking to you from my room.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
mag
my brother started engineering for me on some projects we're doing with my studio, and he goes, "Joe, did you know you're smacky as hell?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, you just." I'm like, I heard I'm not the worst." Engineers at Funimation will tell you, they'll be like, "Man, you have so much mouth noise." And I'm like medium. There are some people who just everything is.
I wonder what I am.
You're fine.
I think someone told me that I was very surprised when I think it was Chris George told me that I wasn't super mouth noisy.
Yeah, you're not bad. Oh no. There's some people
like,
that are
really?
brilliant.
I feel like I make so much noise.
No, you're good.
I think you really don't realize it until you're looking at your own audio recording and being like, oh God, I have to edit this out because we have to do that here on the station. And we don't have really, a team that does that. So once you realize that, you're like, oh, I never want to do that again because I'm causing more work for myself.
Yeah, and a couple of the engineers I know, that is like if you want to just make them cringe and like pound their fists on the table, you just make a bunch of mouth noises. Like it is so awful and repugnant to them. Just like this person making sounds with the mouth. So
it's like being a dog and can only hear the dog.
Yeah, they hate it. They hate it. That sound like I go in there and I make that. Oh God.
Yep.
Just to annoy them, and then I giggle.
Sounds like the best thing that all the voice actors should do on April Fools. Just all together, group effort.
Just clear your mouth for the first 10 minutes of your session. I like it.
Just don't tell them it was my idea. I don't want to get hurt.
Okay.
Though if any of them actually, book a flight to Las Vegas, I'll be really surprised.
Yeah. Just to come be like, you, come here. Did you do that?
I'm imagining it now. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, for the listeners out there, though, since we've done a big focus on Toriko, I know that you guys are both working on projects. Is there anything you'd like to promote to the audience, anime or otherwise, that you can talk about and you won't have ninjas try and kill you?
Also out, I think today, if not today, very soon, is the Shauna movie.
Yeah.
Which this guy directed.
And this guy starred in.
Yes, Yuji Hikai.
Yeah. You did so good in that.
Thank you, and you did a wonderful job directing.
I tried.
But there's that, and also season 2 just came out, and Funimation, I believe today, just put up the trailer that we're doing season 3. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. Saw it today. So
that's
there's
awesome.
That, and I think that's the only one that I can talk about. I got a couple of
Josh
others.
is always doing. He's got something in the way.
So yeah, there you go. How about you?
I am right now. I am filming a movie with Eric Vale called Chariot, and it's like the world is blowing up. Nuclear bombs are going off. 7 people find themselves on an airplane. They don't know how they got there, and that's a movie.
Yeah, so that sounded like the movie, actually. It's all in one location from what we know, at least from what Eric told us.
He's brilliant. It is so smart to be like, you know what, one location that's already pre-lit because it's an airplane. Yes, we have lighting and all that kind of stuff, but like, really, you don't have to compensate for daylight or anything like that. It's Eric Vale, man. He put out a great script. Brad Osborne is an awesome director, and we've got a great cast. Brina Palencia is in it. We're contentious, me and Brina in it. The character Emily and my character Aiden. We butt heads a little bit. And we have the great Anthony Montgomery from Star Trek Enterprise on it, and he's doing an awesome job as Cole, the truck driver. He doesn't know why he's here. He's a truck driver. It's awesome. I'm having a great time with it, but it is exhausting. I was doing it from 8 a.m. until I drove over to do this. So yeah, I'm going to be doing it for next week, 2 weeks. So I'm doing that. and I'm very excited about that because I haven't been doing on camera as much lately. Honestly, I have no idea when I'm allowed to talk about like some of the stuff. So yeah, there's stuff coming. But most importantly, Toriko is releasing today, and then the second one's releasing in February, from what I hear, and then the next ones and the next ones are going to be coming out for a while. So, Toriko. Yeah, that's been our last year, and I pray it does well because I hope to do more for no other reason than I'm a big fan of it, and I think it's just so cool, and getting to go in and yell about food. It's just, I mean, it's so fun and
get
cool.
Epic fights.
Yeah. Like I got to do a power up.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do a power up. It's one of those things that, and if any voice actor in anime tells you he didn't want to do that, he is a liar. Every one of us wanted to do like every one of us. So I got to do that, and that was like one of those things that I called up my brother who got me into anime, and I was like, I need a power up today. I'm gonna hit big things. It was awesome. My brother is actually a huge fan of Toriko, so it's really cool because he's the one who got me into anime, and so I almost dedicate this performance to him because he's a big fan of it, and he came over when we did the viewing party of it, and he's just like, I just want more. Is that it? And
we did like what, all 12?
We did 13.
All
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, we did all 13 in one shot. And please buy it. We want to do more. Oh, Toriko.
It sounds like the reaction has been amazing.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We don't know. Like it's hard to gauge reaction because you try not to look. You do your best to just not know about it, because if you really buy into any good response, then you have to equally buy into all the bad response. And so
and YouTube and bad responses kind of go hand in hand.
Some people do that just to be like, oh look, I was so different, and I don't look. I can't look. If Johnny Depp gets to not look, someone who is nowhere near as talented gets to not look. I can't. Do you look? I don't look.
On occasion.
Yeah, it's hard not to, because everybody's like, did you see what they said about you on YouTube? And you're like, no.
I usually just find the ones that are just people deliberately being dicks. I find them hysterical.
Yeah, because sometimes, and the awful grammar. I remember that. I stopped looking when I was doing Black Butler, and somebody posted up, why they doing this with English accent? It's so stupid, or something like that. And I was like,
no punctuation whatsoever.
Yeah, no punctuation or correct spelling. And I was like, they have a problem with British people being British? Okay, I'm done. I will make the best art I can, and I hope people like it. I can't look at what you guys say about me,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can understand this because I don't participate in a lot of anime communities anymore, because you have like this elitist sort of attitude from some people, the negative Nancy's, and
Right.
I just can't deal with it anymore. I feel like nobody's taking into consideration any of the other factors involved, because you can't put all of the blame on a voice actor if you don't like their performance, because it is a personal opinion whether you like their performance or not. You have to consider there's writers and there's the person who cast them, and they could have been sick that day, or this was the vision and this is what they had to do because this is what they were told to do, so on and so forth.
My thought is that I get it. I do understand loving something and then seeing it and it being different than what you had expected, and that breaking your heart a little bit.
Especially when the version that you fell in love with was the one that you read in your head.
Yeah, because they have no idea. Like me, unless you are a fluent Japanese speaker, you don't really know. Like you don't know about their performance. It's just it's pretty noises, and some of them are beautiful, pretty noises. But like I can tell you about a performance and I can say I like it, but so when I'm really honest about it, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know the intricacies of Japanese dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like a fluent speaker would do. So I mean, I get it, I do. But what you touched on something that Josh and I actually, I'm gonna beat you to it. Chris Ayers said something a long time ago, and I have kept it with me, and I say this all the time. If you ever don't like an actor's performance, do not get mad at that actor. The person you should be mad at, if anyone at all, is the director, because the director is the person who every single noise that you make is chosen by that director, is influenced by the director. The director, if it's a bad take and a director doesn't get another one, that's the director's decision. So, and I say that more about my work. I always say, hey, don't get mad at my actors. You get mad at me if you're going to have any problem.
You said that on several of the Black Butler panels that I was on there.
Yeah.
Like when someone would try to, like I think someone actually tried to say, I think it was Ayers, like giving him crap about film or whatever, and then Ian was just like, hey, you don't blame him.
No.
I mean, as I said, I can understand. It's kind of like, from my perspective, Hetalia is a great example. I don't know because I'm not Japanese, I don't know what a stereotypical like American or what have you is to a Japanese person. I don't know how that's going to sound in Japanese. So when I watch it in English, it makes more sense to me, and I just find it all around more funny because I understand those stereotypes.
That and Eric Bale's kind of brilliant.
This is true. He kind of is American.
It is so. He is what he does. Sorry, I mean, I love Eric. He is a brother of mine, and I'm just gonna go ahead and toot his horn for a minute. It is so hard to play a jerk and make people love you, and he is brilliant. Mm-hmm. Like, if I ever need to cast a jerk or anything like that, and I've told him this, and he just laughed really hard, and he goes, I'm really glad people think of me that way. And the funniest thing is, he is one of the kindest, nicest guys. Like, I love the dude. Don't get on his bad side. Do not get on his bad side. But, like, he's a great guy. He's a great father. He's a great guy.
It's funny that you guys mentioned that, because I literally started our interview with him being like, I've been to a lot of conventions where Hetalia fans are just making fun of your character, but I have to tell you, your character is one of my favorites from the show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I just love being able to laugh at the country I'm from. I mean, I have pride in the country I'm from, but it's just hilarious to me.
Especially when you're seeing that character through the eyes of another nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
First time in America, he's jamming burgers in his face and spying on people.
Being very loud.
And being very loud. And then going, I'm the hero! I can't go as high as Eric. He has a higher voice than me.
But, you know, when it comes to, though, debates and things like that, I will say, and I'll admit it for all the people who think that I only watch dubs, is I will usually prefer a sub if it has, like, sound effects or what have you at the end of their speech, like nya or ugu or whatever it is, right. Just because that doesn't come across to me very well when someone says it in English. And it's no disrespect to the people who made it, it's just, it sounds weird to me.
No, then you are completely entitled to that. That's totally fine. I have no problem with it. You know, I doubt you're the kind of person who goes online and sends death threats to actors. That's kind of where I draw the line. When J. Michael Tatum got a death threat for Sebastian, which I believe is an inspired performance. He is brilliant. As a director, I sat there staring with my jaw on the floor, just going, yeah, that's great. And for him to get a death threat from I was really new to this community, and I was like, this happens? He's like, yeah, this kind of stuff happens, and that's I don't know what to say. It's in no other field will you get something like that, and it's just sad because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
I know.
And he did a great job.
He did a great job.
Oh, that makes me so sad. So anybody out there, remember to stalk people in a nice way and don't send death threats.
Thank you.
It's bad.
Awesome PSA.
Since we're talking about stalking, though, are there any places where fans can see you guys in 2013?
Oh, first of all, painting and stalking, that's something I could mention. We're releasing the Blu-ray. I say chuck a lot in it. Okay, now that I've said that. Where can they see us? People can see us.
I have not confirmed any cons just yet for this year, so I have none that I can list at the moment.
Aww.
However, for those who might possibly, well, no, won't be able to hear this in time, so never mind.
Are you going somewhere this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going somewhere this weekend.
Oh, cool. I'm going to be at Anime Milwaukee over Valentine's with Mr. Habricorn and Mr. Kaysen. Just get in, come hang out with us.
I think I might.
We're gonna do the Distant World. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, we got that. Maybe. I believe I'm. Oh, I don't know if they've mentioned it yet. That's the thing. Some of these cons haven't put out that we're officially.
That's why I say haven't confirmed.
Oh.
I know. I'm in the same boat.
You can find out where Ian Sinclair is going to be at www.facebook.com/IansVoice. That's www.facebook.com/IansVoice. That's my Facebook fan page, and it's where I actually interact because I don't use these interwebs very often. Oh, and apparently I have a Twitter now because I knew if I didn't get it up immediately after Joel McDonald appeared on that anime show, that he would have a fake Ian Sinclair Twitter out, and it would be saying mean things to people.
Yeah.
So now I have a Twitter that I occasionally go, food! It's delicious! Yeah.
You should just use your Twitter for taking pictures of the awesome stuff you eat whenever you go someplace.
That's kind of what I've been doing with the fan page. It's just been like, and I found a bacon jam recipe. Did you see that?
No.
Bacon jam, dude. Bacon jam. It's bacon jam. It's crazy easy to make, but it's bacon jam. It's bacon jam! Sorry, I got really excited. I've heard of bacon jam before, but I never had like a...
And now you'll have a recipe.
Where can we stalk Josh as well on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on the Facebook. Yeah. Do that.
And is there
about his interwebs?
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the listeners out there, whether it's words of wisdom, dating advice, or a recipe for bacon jam?
No, but like if we're getting close to the end, there's something I have been doing in interviews lately that I take great joy in. Would you be interested in taking part in it?
Okay, I usually make people do a tradition, so I can't say no.
Okay, well no, we can totally do the tradition too. I like lightning rounds. I love pointless lightning rounds. Just quick questions. They can be about anything. I don't care. Anything. We're talking, what color shoes are you wearing? Like, I want you to rattle off as many quick questions as you can for a couple minutes.
Okay, perhaps we can make this a little bit more interesting if you don't mind the suggestion.
Okay.
Since you guys are great friends, how about I ask who does this more or who does that, and you guys can say who it is.
All right.
You like that a little bit better?
Either one works.
We are happy with either. We just like, I don't know. I love being like thrown like, because you get the standard. What do you think about this? And I love those questions. But I always like being thrown.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. It's just always one of those things I leave and I go, oh, that's funny. So yes, whatever you'd like.
Okay, I'm preparing. Okay. Then I will start my lightning round now. Who can actually cook?
Me. Ooh, yes, I'd say we both can.
You taught me.
I did.
But Ian definitely is the winner of the round.
Yeah.
Who's the one that always has to do the dishes?
Ooh. Neither of us.
Yeah, neither of us.
We had a bit of a problem when we were living together.
We did.
All right, who takes the longest in the shower?
Ooh. We didn't share a shower. I don't think I ever.
How long are your showers?
I usually, if I'm on average, 25, 30 minutes.
You take the longer showers.
All right, cool. Yeah.
I like burning hot showers pretty quick.
Burning hot showers for 30 minutes is badass.
Yeah, I imagine it is.
Breathing
the steam. Okay, lightning round.
Who can deal with scary movies better?
Can you?
You.
Me? I don't watch scary movies.
Okay, well then we probably both fail at that one then.
Okay, paper, rock, scissors then. You can totally handle scary movies better than me.
There you go.
Next question.
Who is the snazziest dancer?
Ian.
I
flail around and make myself look like an idiot, so everybody else on the dance floor looks cool.
I will accept you saying that on the as long as I can mention that one of my favorite dance moves is the Grelle. I know one of his dance moves and it's one of my favorites to do. So okay.
Awesome, cool.
Next.
Who is the biggest Trekkie?
Trekkie?
Me.
That would be Josh.
I love his icon, by the way. For those of you who can't see it, it's Patrick John Bricard of the USS Enterprise.
It's I'll show you in a bit. It's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
From the recently released Blu-ray outtakes that have never been seen before.
Next question.
Next question.
Okay, I'll take one from our IRC. Who likes roller coasters better?
Ooh, you like roller coasters?
Not really.
I do.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't as a kid. I could not as a kid, but now I'm like, yeah.
Last time I went on one, by the time I got off, I couldn't walk. Just like,
that was a good question. What's another one?
Who throws the best parties?
Oh.
I
Oh.
don't know.
I'm gonna say me.
I'm gonna say you two. To be honest, yeah, you.
Mine because there's
you can
jazz
cook awesome
playing.
stuff.
Oh
And-
yeah, I don't, but I have soirees.
Yes,
But not often. Next question.
Who is better at video games?
Oh, I
Ooh.
challenge you to that one.
Ooh. I'm gonna give Josh this one because no, you do beat me. In the last couple of years, I have seriously slacked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
that's a good
who owns the most useless crap?
one.
That would be
Yeah,
me
yeah.
by far.
Yeah.
I collect so many just random crap.
I have to
And
wonder if you can beat my kitty bank. I now have a kitty that steals my money when I press a button.
I've seen those. Those are awesome.
I know, I got it for Christmas. I loved
Savage
it.
has one of those.
Sad, but that's one of
I think so. He has one that's like a box that like a little hand comes out and grabs it.
Sabotage.
Yeah, and the Sabotage.
All right, last question. If you could pick any role that the other has done as their best role, what would it be?
Oh, as
their best role, Toriko, dude.
I'd say Komatsu, man.
Really?
Well, I'd put
He was definitely. I
Komatsu.
locked into him pretty easy. I'll say this. Like, I locked into him as easy as I think you locked into Toriko.
I love Toriko. Yeah, I mean, I'm
But at
self-conscious
the same
and I haven't
time,
seen the full.
Komatsu is kind of a repeat of a lot of the characters I've played in the past because he's got that.
That's where I'm going to fight you on this.
Okay.
I think that he's not a repeat. I think he is the culmination of a few characters. Your characters that start out weak and for their own coming of age stories where they gain power and confidence. So you have that, and you also have the geek out of your initial D character.
Yeah,
and
he's kind of like Kenichi meets Itsuki.
Exactly, and you perfected that in Kenichi, and you perfected that in initial D.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the culmination of you.
That's awesome.
Yes, I will accept your Toriko. For me, Reiner and Toriko are my favorites, but Reiner is just me. So.
Well, was that an okay lightning round? I've never had to do that before, so.
Isn't it fun?
It is fun. I mean, I've had to do questions for Japanese idols, so I have to tone them down, and so I don't offend them. But yeah, that was interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me.
My pleasure. I love it because you'll get more weird answers to weird questions than you ever could if you actually think it through. It's awesome. I love them.
This is actually one of the big reasons why I don't write down any of my questions, because
Awesome.
if I did, I feel like we'd be on this one path and I would never be able to deviate.
I like that. It's organic.
It's very hippie, bohemian chic.
Totally.
But no, usually we have a tradition, and both of you guys have participated in it. But I was wondering if you'd be willing to do a Toriko spin.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Basically, we ask if you'd be willing to do a bump for us, but we do the takes live on air.
Okay.
All right, we're just going to ask if you could say, hello, my name is, you insert your name, I do this, you can insert a character or whatever you want there, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
Okay. You want to do this together? Let's see if we can fusion dance this thing.
All right. Tori, go! That's fun. All right. Your personal brother.
Hi, this is Josh Dreley.
And this is Ian Sinclair.
I voice Komatsu and Toriko.
I voice Toriko and Toriko.
And you're listening
The 91
Point the Fan!
That was pretty amazing. I'm not even going to ask you to do it again because it was so amazing my mind was blown.
I like that.
And so now, guys, I have to say it was a pleasure to have you on together because you two are hilarious together.
Cool. Thank you.
Just how
we are. Thank you. You think we're hilarious together here? Just let's go watch Toriko. Yeah, exactly. We'll watch Toriko.
I have to get a copy because now you've completely sold me.
Oh, good. We love it. We're big fans.
Indeed.
And for anybody out there that missed any of this interview, shame on you, but don't fret, it'll be up on the website within the next few days, so keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan, everything you want and nothing you don't.